If they're rebooting someone that you love, who you gonna call?
Someone else.
Oh. Well, I did the best that I could. That's all I can say. Hi, I'm Tyler, and I'm here to let you know that the 2016 reboot of Ghostbusters is no perfect movie. So in Ghostbusters, two paranormal investigators, played by Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy, publish a book where they claim that paranormal phenomenon actually exists. And when they get a couple of ghost reports, they hire two other members for their team, played by Leslie Jones and Kate McKinnon, so that they can stop a man named Rowan, played by Neil Casey, from opening a portal where ghosts can travel through different dimensions and create the apocalypse. Now, out of the four main leads in this movie, my two favorites by far were Leslie Jones and Kate McKinnon. Jones has this persona where no matter what she does or what she says, she always gets a laugh just through her exaggerated expressions and timing. Whenever she is confronted by a ghost at her job in the subway or chasing a mannequin down the hallway, her reactions make each scene so much fun to watch. And Kate McKinnon steals just about every scene she's in, and all she really has to do to get a laugh or just your attention is by making this sneaky little smile that she has. And she has so much energy and charisma that she makes some of the weaker lines in the movie sound pretty funny. And as for Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy, it's not necessarily that they're bad, it's just that they're, oddly enough, very restrained in their roles, and I don't think that's a good thing. Now, to be fair, McCarthy's trying to do something different. She avoids her usual raunchy, profane self, but Kristen Wiig, on the other hand, remains pretty much the foil just like she did in Bridesmaids. And Wiig is trying so hard to be this grounded, realistic, shy dweeb that whenever she hits on a man or panics in an over-the-top fashion, it doesn't really fit with her character. And as for McCarthy, I actually do really wish that she stuck with her usual tropes, like making random curse words on the spot or ad-libbing. She would have had much more comedic possibilities, but here, she rarely goes all out with her character. She doesn't curse very often, she barely does any physical routines, which is a real shame because if she does those routines right, she can be so funny. And Paul Feig proved that last year with Spy, he knows just how to do action scenes as well as he does with comedic scenes. Whenever they're out busting ghosts, the gadgets are so cool, especially a glove that can punch a ghost or grenades that can evaporate them. The ghosts themselves could have had better CG effects, but they do have interesting designs. There's no shaky cam during any of the action scenes, and the cool thing is Feig does still have his actresses doing in-camera stunts whenever they can. So example, whenever Melissa McCarthy's flying around because her weapon has too much power, she's actually on a wire, and that's pretty cool to see. Now, there's absolutely no point in talking about Neil Casey as the villain because throughout the entire movie, he always looks and sounds as if he's completely disinterested in his performance, and it doesn't even look like he's even trying. And man, I feel so sorry for Chris Hemsworth in this movie because even though he's trying so hard to be funny, for starters, he's way too physically imposing, and as weird as this sounds, he's too attractive to be playing such a stupid, exaggerated character, which brings me to the other problem with his character. This guy makes Ralph Wiggum, Patrick Star, Jerry from Rick and Morty, any stupid cartoon character you can think of, and makes them look like Einstein. His jokes are incredibly forced, like he'll randomly fall down a staircase, or he'll drink a cup of coffee and then spit it out because he suddenly remembers he doesn't like coffee. And there's no real reason for any of these jokes other than, we need a joke, can you do something stupid? But my main problem with this movie is just the fact that it's not really funny or interesting. There are so many jokes throughout this movie that aren't even jokes. They're just characters referencing movies like they're reading a Wikipedia article. I mean, I get it. You can memorize a scene from Patrick Swayze's Ghost or compare the stupid mayor of New York to the mayor from Jaws. doing those comparisons is not automatically funny. They're just references. And I know that there are a lot of movies and shows that I really enjoy that do that all the time. For example, Deadpool did that plenty. And when I was thinking about, well, gee, what made Deadpool work? And I felt that it was because Ryan Reynolds' comedic timing not only was timed perfectly, in my opinion, but his delivery sounded hilarious too. And with this movie, I didn't feel like they built any of the references up. I felt like they just blurted them out whenever, thinking all you had to do was make the reference. You have to do a lot more than that, and I felt like they weren't even trying that hard. The other source of comedy that just really felt desperate to me was just how many random celebrity cameos there are in this movie. It's not enough to have cameos from other stars from the original movie, like Bill Murray or Dan Aykroyd, who, I have to say, in the 5 minutes they were in, they looked and sounded completely bored out of their mind. But it's not enough just to have those particular actors in a scene. They have to say something funny that is not just them referencing the original movie. I don't want to see them show up for a couple minutes and just go, ah, well, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. And there are other weird cameos like Charles Dance from Game of Thrones. He's in it for like 2 scenes, and I guess it's supposed to be funny because it's Tywin Lannister firing Kristen Wiig, and that's it, I guess. And some of the cameos are so random they don't even make sense. For example, why would you get Omar Little from The Wire or Ed Begley Jr. to be in this movie if you're just going to shove them into the background and not have them say anything funny or even contribute to the plot? I mean, even Dopinder from Deadpool, he's in this movie, and all he does is like one running gag that is not even remotely funny. I didn't laugh once at him, which is a shame because he was awesome in Deadpool, even if he was only in it for like 10-15 minutes. All in all, Ghostbusters could have been so much better considering the director Paul Feig and the ensemble cast can be really talented and really funny. But the jokes all felt so forced to me, the story was bland, the villain was completely boring, and it isn't until the 3rd act of the movie where all of the things I liked about the movie started happening. And for that reason, I'm going to give the new Ghostbusters a 2 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out my other reviews at NoPerfectMovie.com. And I'm going to be starting a series in which I retrospectively review every movie in the Jason Bourne franchise, not counting the TV movie from the 80s, leading up to the release of the brand new Jason Bourne movie. And the first review I made of Bourne Identity features Nick Logan from the Cinematic Addicts. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care.